Hey everyone, welcome back. So I've been tracking the astrology pretty close lately, and I wanted to share some of what I've been gleaning and do it on a sign-by-sign basis so that the people who follow me can have access to this information as we go through the eclipse portal, culminating in the solar eclipse on April 8th. Remember, this is a super incredible time to be alive, and I wanted you guys to be prepared, and I wanted y'all to show the rest of the world how it's done. Anyway, let's get started. So, Aries. Aries, you need to change the way you treat yourself. It's time to treat yourself as well as you treat others, even in your self-talk and when no one else is looking. Allow yourself to raise your expectations and expect more from others when it comes to how they treat you. Be a better partner to yourself. Analyze and correct negative language about yourself and negative language about yourself in your own head when you say it out loud and when you think it to yourself. For Aries, the primary factor in their ascension right now is their relationship with God, their faith, and their belief in that which they cannot see. This is all being tested right now. So when you trust God with all your heart, you win, Aries. When you're nicer to yourself and you speak kindly about yourself, you win. So trust God and trust yourself. Taurus. Tauruses are having a renaissance of inner faith in themselves. They're now realizing more and more with absolute certainty that it's going to be okay. And if you think and know and feel that it's going to be okay, Taurus, it's going to be okay. Don't forget, knowing is a verb, so you can know actively. So you can actively know that things are going to be okay. And if you believe it and know it and embody it, they will be. So faith must now always be your response, not fear. You're anchoring faith for humanity. How you live in your body is a result of being in faith. So when you're in faith, you'll alleviate stress, sickness, and losing sleep due to lack of faith. And when you do this, your role in society is elevated because you're now anchoring faith. This is what we need Tauruses to be working on and knowing with certainty as we go through the eclipse gateway. Thanks, Tauruses. We appreciate you. Gemini needs to be a better friend to themselves. Geminis need to know that you're wanted and that people really do like you. And you can attain this by being kinder to yourself. One of the reasons you don't think people like you is because you don't really like yourself. You kind of judge yourself pretty hard. And when you do that, that projects out onto the people you're trying to convince to like you. So when you judge yourself, you're judged back. But when you learn to be nicer to yourself, you're actually nicer to others, and the response you receive from others is nicer in kind. And as a result, when you shift this, you'll actually become closer to God. You'll open up your relationship to God because of the love you're cultivating within yourself. You're now being sort of made aware that love exists because the love you're cultivating within yourself will grow your awareness of God. God is love. When you know love, you know God. And so this is the love and friendship to themselves we need Geminis to be sort of floating into the eclipse with. Cancers. From now on, Cancers need to apply the self-discipline that they demonstrate on behalf of helping others to themselves. When you are impeccable with your language on behalf of talking about others, you now need to shift that impeccability back to yourself. You need to be impeccable with the language you speak about yourself with. And when you do this, you'll actually be happier. All of the happiness that you're trying to program into others needs to sort of be programmed into you. And as a result of what's going on with the astrology right now, you can't tolerate your own negative BS anymore. And once you start to feel better, your inner world's going to open up and you'll become less and less tolerant of your own sort of negative self-bashing, your own sort of negative self-talk. And you'll be on the path to becoming who you were meant to be. So when you work for yourself as hard as you work for others, all the power of your feelings will be working for you. You know, everything that you put into how strongly you want what's best for everyone else will now be working for you. And when this happens, literally everything is possible. And this is what we need Cancers to be going into the eclipse gateway embodying. Leos. So Leos need to believe in what they know. You can't give up on yourself, Leo, the second something contrary to what you thought you knew shows up. You need to know that what was sent to contraindicate what you already knew in your heart was sent here to test your resolve. And one of the sources of your wishy-washy self-love is that everything needs to be proven to you, Leo, which undermines your faith and your belief in your own authority and wisdom. So once you let go and understand that what you know is how it is, and you trust what you know, your career and legacy become unlimited. So Leos need to state and believe and embody with authority what they know. We need you to believe in what you know as we go into the eclipse season, Leo. Virgo, it's time to prioritize your boundaries around yourself, Virgos. Virgos have been struggling with contempt prior to investigation, and they need to remember that it's the thing they want to do least, or the thing that they say no to first, that they should actually do first. For Virgos, it's your ego that's keeping itself alive by averting you from your soul's true desires. So when you say no with contempt prior to investigation, it's actually a prompt to look at what you're saying no to, Virgo. Because when you say no to what's best for you, you become the result of denying what's best for you, not the result of doing what's best for you. So when you become mindful of all the contempt prior to investigation based on your no's, and begin to learn what your no's have to tell you, and begin leaning into saying yes to what were former no's, you'll experience new, healthier relationships, partnerships, and your self-worth and life purpose will shift in the improved direction of your yes-based life. So this is what we need Virgos to be walking into the eclipse with: a better sense of what's best for them and healthiest for them, and a better sense of what's unhealthier for them. And it's the boundary that comes down in between what's good for you and what no longer serves you anymore. You can do it, Virgos. We love you. So Libras need to stop fighting with themselves. Your heart knows what you want, Libra, and you should give your heart what it wants. Keep your mind out of it. That's your ego ignoring your heart. And so Libras are very ready to start treating themselves better and going with what their heart tells them to do, not with what their mind talks them out of doing. And when you listen to your heart, your entire life becomes up for renewal. The way you live your life can be totally transformed. So as we go into the eclipse, we need Libras to sort of trust in their own good taste, right? Because what your own heart wants is truly in alignment with your impeccable sense of having good taste. So go with what your heart wants, and you'll be bringing the rest of us in the direction of what's best for us, because Libras have great taste. Scorpios need to let go of struggle. We need to let go of the attitude of stress. We need to put down the belief that there's a war waiting around every corner. That's actually our egos convincing us that there's a war about to happen. And so in a way, we may be the ones, through all our sort of preparing for war, that have actually sort of manifested all this preparation for war we're seeing in the external, in the 3D. So perhaps if Scorpios actually started focusing more on getting ready for peace, getting prepared to focus on abundance, getting ready to, or being prepared to focus on having our dreams come true, maybe all these wars that are on the precipice of happening will go away. Maybe once we Scorpios put down the fight within, all the fighting in the without will go away too. It's just food for thought, but it's not a bad reason to give it a try. So we Scorpios need to let go of struggle and the belief that everything positive must be the result of some kind of struggle. Our spirits are actually rising up against our egos and telling us to believe in struggle no more. Our spirits want a better life. They're telling us that if life isn't easy, it's because we're making it this way. So when we correct this false faith in struggle, our dreams come true. And when we do this, we'll have so much more power that what we want will be the way it is. Like if we want peace instead of war, which is what we've been focusing on, we'll get peace. And when we do this, we will also shift into receiving cool alignments and partnerships that don't let us down anymore. Scorpios are used to being let down in partnership. But when we put down the struggle within ourselves, the life outside of us is no longer a struggle. So if we're dreaming of a new earth and we let go of struggle as a Scorpio, when we stop warring with our faith, wars end and new earth comes true. Sagittarius says, your ego doesn't love you. Your ego doesn't think you're good enough unless you're perfect. Your ego doesn't think anything's good enough unless it's perfect. So Sagittariuses have to stop being so good at deflecting love and appreciation. Sagittariuses need to put down false humility and the belief that everything has to be perfect in order for you to love yourself. Once you love yourself more, things actually become more perfect, right? The way you make things perfect is by letting go or detaching from the need of them being perfect. And when you do this, you get better friends, you get better parties, you get a better social life. Your world where you're living it and who you're living it with can no longer put up with substandard social relationships. Once you're in a better relationship with yourself, the relationships outside of you need to become better as well. And when this happens, you can actually feel better about your life and your family. So once you love yourself more, you love your life more. And your home life will become amazing. And this is what we need Sagittarius to be embodying as we go into the eclipse gateway. You're perfect just the way you are, Sagittarius, and we need you to start knowing this. Capricorns. Capricorns need to start believing that good outcomes are the default, not the exception. So when you're down, Capricorn, you bring others down because you're a very powerful creator. So when you let go of needing to be the best of the best of the best, you're less depressed, right? Because it's actually your need to be the best of the best of the best, right? If you're only the best of the best and not the best of the best of the best, you get depressed, right? So you've actually been a slave driver to yourself. But when you stop being a tyrant to yourself and you start emphasizing progress over perfection, you can feel better and you can manifest your powerful dreams and wishes. When you put your faith in progress, not perfection, all of that intensity that you put towards all of your incredible creations is now not being blocked by your contempt for yourself. So you're a powerful creator, and when you're happy, you can make incredible things happy and the people around you happy. When you're not happy, the opposite is true. We need Capricorns to embody, as we go through this eclipse gateway, the default knowing that everything's always going to be okay, that outcomes are going to be just fine, and we need to let go of the need to be the best of the best of the best of the best. Capricorns ought to emphasize progress over perfection as we go through this important eclipse gateway. Aquariuses need to change their self-talk. Aquariuses need to let go of their inner critic. Aquariuses want to believe in themselves, and they're desperate to sort of talk about all the stuff they know, but their egos kind of talk too much shit about them. Like, their egos are like, are you sure you know what you're talking about? Like, are you sure you want to go public with that? And so Aquarius are divorcing all the shit that they're talking about themselves. And once they do this, they open doors to massive financial abundance, which leads to emotional security. As we go through this eclipse gateway, we need Aquarius to stop talking so much shit about themselves so that they can actually anchor all this new financial abundance, right? And so Aquarians can sort of bring their ideas to fruition, right? And feel emotional security, right? Because when Aquarians feel emotional security in the age of Aquarius, I believe we'll all feel that emotional security. So Pisces need to improve their self-worth. Pisces have been putting themselves down for forever. They've been under a spell, and they need to know that it doesn't matter anymore. No one cares what you did in the past. All that matters is what you do now. And once you're on the side of your own worth, Pisces, your gifts and what you have to offer humanity become unlimited. Your potential becomes unlimited. And you can make and create the world you want to see, because Pisces are the alchemists. You've allowed yourself to put yourself down and live beneath what you know you deserve for too long. So now when you stop putting yourself down, you're letting your inner genius come out. And you're able to be the multidimensional Pisces we've all been waiting for. You become Earth's spiritual masters as you are intended to be. And this is what we need from Pisces right now as we go through this important eclipse gateway. I hope this helps. Keep on trucking, and I'll catch you later.